Hello and welcome. My name is Yvette Acevedo with Honest Real Estate in Philadelphia. I also serve Bucks and Montgomery counties. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're wondering how to get a realtor to officially commit to working with you or how to kick that lousy realtor to the curb, then listen up because that's exactly what I'm going to go over with you today. So let's get to it. At your buyer's consultation, you're going to be presented with a buyer's agency contract. It's technically an employment contract between you and the real estate brokerage that the realtor you chose works for. It gives you a breakdown of everything you can expect from an employment contract. It goes over terms, commission, how certain situations are handled, and your rights. There's a lot crammed into 4 pages, and you should go over all of it. For now, I'm going to cover the 2 parts I feel you should really pay attention to, and that's the term and commission. The term is the length of time you agree to work together. It can be for as long or as short as you want it to be. I usually suggest 3 months when working with someone to buy residential property. Investors are a different category of buyer, and it's very common for investors to work with multiple realtors, so depending on the situation, you can opt for a week or even a single day. Without it, there is no business relationship. There is no obligation on your part to solely work with that realtor. You can literally bounce around from agent to agent and no one can say or do anything about it. Since the realtor is going to prioritize clients that have signed the relationship agreement, you're almost guaranteed not to get the quality service you deserve. What you really need to understand is the term of the relationship agreement. It's extremely important because if you're unhappy with the level of service you're getting from your realtor, you may end up stuck with them until the contract expires. There are consequences to buying a property behind your realtor's back while there's a contract enforced. The buyer agency agreement is a legal contract, and if the contract is breached, you may be on the hook for the brokerage commission. The broker can sue you for the commission if you buy a property with another realtor. You also need to know that if you opt for a short-term or one-day buyer agency contract and you purchase a property a week later without the agent who showed it to you, without the agent who actually did the research for you, there is a possibility that the agent may very well be due compensation. So waiting for a buyer's contract to expire before buying the property that was shown to you might not automatically dismiss a claim for compensation. People do not realize the amount of work that goes into being a realtor. We do a lot behind the scenes and the process can be very time consuming, and usually there's no guarantee of getting paid. So the buyer's agency contract helps protect the realtor's time by weeding out people who do not want to take the process seriously. Unfortunately, it's very common for people to assume that showing a house is easy without taking into consideration all the things that go into it. Taking time to have a buyer's consultation and going over all the elements of the process, including the agency agreement, will help you understand your realtor's role and their value in being of service to you. There's a lot to go over in a buyer's agency contract, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video. I'm going to share with you how to avoid getting in a sticky situation with a realtor who is not serving you. But first, let's go over commission. Commission is the compensation the realtor can expect to earn when representing a buyer in a transaction or a seller. There is no set standard amount for commission, so it can be negotiated. The agreement is going to clearly state the realtor's commission and any fees associated with hiring them to represent you. This is something you should go over in detail with your realtor way in advance. Sometimes realtors don't enforce the buyer's agency contract because they don't want to lose business by turning off a potential client. So they'll go ahead and they'll show the property without it. But think about that. Do you really want to work with someone who cannot stand up for themselves? Someone who is okay with wasting time and working with no commitment at all whatsoever? If they can't explain the benefits of committing to work with them, then how are they going to be when they represent you in a transaction? The buyer agency contract is a required document if you're going to move forward on placing an offer on a property. The last thing you want is to have a realtor slide it in with the rest of the offer paperwork. Because if that agency agreement is sent along with the other paperwork, you might overlook the term date or commission. Like I said earlier, you're going to want to review the agency agreement way in advance before going out to see properties to make sure you understand and agree. And if you don't understand or don't agree, have the realtor explain it to you and make adjustments. Now let's get to what you've been waiting for, how to get out of a buyer's agency contract. If you're currently in an agreement with the realtor, be honest and upfront. Let them know that you would like to cut ties and go your separate ways. Do this in writing. An email will probably work the best, so you have a record of their response. If you don't get a response, contact the brokerage directly and explain the situation. Now, the broker is probably going to recommend another agent within the brokerage. If you don't want to work with anyone within that brokerage, continue with your termination request. If for whatever reason they're unwilling to terminate the buyer's agency contract, you might have to wait until the expiration date. Depending on how far out the expiration date is, this can possibly delay your plans. To avoid all this from happening to begin with, before signing the buyer's agency contract, ask the realtor how can you get out of the agreement if you feel it's necessary down the road. See what they say, then ask them to show you in the contract where it states that. Make sure it's written clear as day. If there's no way out before the expiration date, you can ask the realtor to add a way to get out. There's a blank space in the agreement to add additional terms. Have the realtor write something like, buyer may terminate by written notice, contract will be null and void, date of delivery. It would have to be very clear so there's no misinterpretations. If you're just getting started and haven't hired a realtor yet, go ahead, get yourself a great agent to guide you, and don't be afraid to commit. Just be sure to ask about how to terminate the buyer agency contract in advance. I personally never want to work with someone who doesn't want to work with me, so I already have that extra verbiage on how to get out written in advance. I have it on my templates. Not all agents will automatically do that. Well, you made it to the end, and if you got this far, you're probably either looking for a realtor or want to fire a realtor. If either is true, reach out to me. I'll be happy to help. My calendar link is easy to find on my channel or Linktree link. Let me know if you found value in this video by typing yes in the comments below, and hit that subscribe and notification button because being informed is always better. Till next time, bye.